Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's I Like the Bubble. I'm back here today with another good video, some good content for you all. And today I want to give you a little insight on being a medical carrier. Okay, and shout out to the OG who left this comment on one of my most recent videos, and and I read through. It's a pretty lengthy comment, but I read through it all, and it is pretty much damn near spot on with pretty much everything he said. And like I said, it's just some good insight about becoming a medical carrier that I've been wanting to make this video, but I'll make it specifically based around this comment he left. So I'm gonna put the comment up here. It is a pretty lengthy comment, so it's about 3 minutes long. So if you want to skip ahead, whatever you can, I don't really care. So with that being said, I'll throw the comment up right now. Like I said, it's pretty lengthy, so just take your time, read through it. All right, so and like I said, I'm gonna just go in a little bit of detail and get my input on a few things out of the comment that was posted. And so one of the first things that was said was 6 figures, right? You see the job posting or whatever. And so I just want to say that really all depends on the company you're working for. If you want to be the average Joe, you want to go work for a smaller medical company like I'm not gonna say any companies. I don't want to offend anyone or anything like that. But if you want to do the average thing that the average person is doing, by all means, don't expect, the high numbers. You know what I mean? But for a medical company like I work for, I deliver about 20,000 up to 40,000 pounds of medical supplies in a week that I'm constantly moving. So just take that into consideration. So the more and more you do, the more of course you're going to get paid for it. So just know 6 figures is most definitely possible. Just don't be average. And the medical company I deliver for, like I said, I told you how you all could find a company like that in one of my recent videos. I think it was like the first video I started posting about the medical carrier thing, right? And so the vehicle type, that really all depends on the type of medical equipment you're delivering. So me, I sometimes have routes that go up to 5,000 pounds. And of course, this van, it only holds 4,331 pounds. So what they do is, I'll go to the warehouse and I'll pick up the first half or whatever, and then do it in my route, and then come back to the warehouse and go back out to deliver the rest, you know. So that's what I pretty much get paid to do. And that's why my, you know, in the last video, a guy asked me about the vehicle type. I don't regret choosing this vehicle because every day my route is not, it's not 5,000, 6,000 pounds. I might have a route with 1,800 pounds with 6 stops. So, you know, it doesn't, I wouldn't change it. I'll put it like that. And so the schedule, it is very random. Okay, so like let's say for instance, one day you have a route, because you're not delivering these supplies to the same people every day. More than, well, the company I deliver for is pretty much a delivery made every month. Sometimes the patient, they may call in like a different order, you know, to have it delivered maybe in like a week, or, you know, so they have to process it into someone's route, to the driver's manifest basically. And so like it's random, and so you may not run into the same patient every time. And also another thing to keep in mind, like those, you know, of course, still getting paid by the mileage, and, you know, you're getting paid as a lumper, because that's pretty much what you're doing as a medical carrier. Just make sure you're getting paid for all of those things, right? And so the company that you work for, just keep in mind, there might be guys who've been there for years and years. So just take that into consideration too, that those drivers might have those healthy routes, those, you know, those routes with the heavier pieces of supplies, or, you know, whatever like that. So just keep that in mind, because companies, some people are like that. All right, so now let's talk about the driving hours a day for the money. So pretty much, it's not, you know, you get into this, you got to take your time and do it or whatever. I mean, you do got to take your time. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. But pretty much, whatever you get done in the time span that you get it done, is all a good understanding of that. Also, the mileage logs and the receipts, keep track of all of that, you know, of course, for tax purposes, you know. And also another thing, he mentioned something about taxes, about when you should file them or whatever, but that's just a suggestion. I'm not a CPA, I'm not a tax anything, I'm not by any means trying to give anyone any financial advice. And I'm sure, you know, he was just throwing his idea out there, so don't, you know, take that and just run with it, you know what I mean? Figure out, you know, how you file your LLC, talk to your, you know, do what you got to do pretty much to run your business, basically. All right, and let's, so the first check, when you're working with a medical company, 1099, like me, I'm an independent contractor, 1099. The first check, I didn't get it until like I was supposed to get my first check my third week of working, but what happened was really my fourth week. I was supposed to get it my fourth week. 3 weeks in a hole, then you get to check the 4th week, whatever. And so what happened was, on my 3rd week, they end up sending me somebody else's check. And so what happened after that, I end up, I had only, my first week I only worked 4 days, and my second week I had only worked 3 days. So that check, that was a pretty big check, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know what that person did to make $5,600 that week or whatever, but some way, somehow, it got sent to my account. So those 2 weeks that I had done or whatever, I had to spend a little bit more time in the hole. So, you know, but it is true. It does take a couple weeks to get paid as a medical carrier. So just keep that in mind, and pay attention to your mileage for accurate pay. And then, you know, because I do get paid by the mile pretty much, and then the lumper, with the hotels and everything. So with all that included, like, I'm making damn near $2 a mile. I know on my first couple checks, they were like $1.71 a mile, but now, like, I'm seeing more like $1.90 and up, like right shy of $2. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And what that too, understand this: when you're going to talk to these companies or whoever has the routes, right? You need to understand like how to talk. Ask them, get a clear description, get a clear job description of what you're going to be doing. Like me, for example, if I load my truck, if I unload my truck by hand, load it with a forklift, unload it by hand, I gotta have a forklift certification. I gotta be HIPAA certified. Like all these things. Make sure you're getting paid for all this. You know, I'm staying in another city overnight. You put me in a hotel, yeah, you know. So just make sure you're getting paid for all that. Ask about a backhaul. You know, make sure. Just basically have a clear description of what you're going into. Don't just let them pay you whatever, or you know, tell you that it's just one-way pay. Like, nah, bro. Like, understand what they're charging the customer. Like, all type of things. All of this should be made clear to you before you even start. Before you sign that contract to get on with them. Like, you know, because if you go to them, you just want to work or whatever. That's cool, but I guarantee you, these people will take advantage of you. Just how these brokers are doing over the road, taking advantage of the new drivers. Like, I guarantee you, it is the same way with these type of companies. If you don't know, hey, you just don't know. You're fucked unless another driver tell you. But then on top of that, like, you have drivers who won't even say anything about what they're getting paid to another driver for, you know, the same company, because, you know, unless another driver were to, like, you know, find these videos or whatever that I'm making, like, they would not know. Like, I promise you, because I'm not gonna say shit. And that's another thing too. Another guy who's been with this company like 6 years, that guy's up there like that. He's making money. So, and like on top of that, you know, understand that they may not tell you that there's a time frame to have these things done, but I don't care if my first patient is 3 hours away, 2 hours away. I'm gonna be there on this doorstep by 7 o'clock. Like, I promise you, I guarantee you that. And so, you know, just be mindful of those things, right? And so let's see, the apps and startup fees. There is an app. Every medical, I'm sure every medical company, they have their own private apps or whatever. Like, you're not just gonna type in medical carrier in the app store and it's just gonna come up. That's not gonna happen. But they do have their own private apps, and there are fees for it, like the registration fee, the drug test, the MVR. What else did I have to do? The background check. Like, you're gonna have to pay for those fees yourself because you are an independent contractor. And then for that app and the whatever type of application they use for, like, to send you your settlements and things like that, the whatever type of program that they're using online for that, you have to pay for that membership as well. So those are a couple things that come out your check. So, like, I've been realizing, like, it's been about $40 to $50 every month or every week, sort of say, that comes out my check. You know, so just keep that in mind. And I'm sure that's how the dispatchers get paid. So, you know, this money is revolving. So, you know, just be on the lookout for all that. And another thing about the background check, make sure you're able to pass the background check. Make sure your driving record, your MVR, is up to par. Mine really wasn't up to par, but I noticed when I registered for that delivery app, Vihu, I saw that they sent me a copy of my MVR back. They sent me a copy of my background check back. The only thing I didn't get to was the drug test, because I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go this far for it. But I probably should have. But at the same time, I couldn't use this van anyway, so I had to use a card. So I wasn't even worried about it, because I knew the money that I want to make in this, it wasn't gonna pay on that app if they want me to use a card, pretty much. So just make sure you're able to pass that background check, that drug test, and that MVR, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, that could be kind of expensive, especially depending on the area you're in, and if you don't have a lot of money, you know, saved up and things like that. But, you know, $200 going to waste, hey bro, that's somebody's car note somewhere. That's a piece of your insurance. That's a piece of this truck note. That's some hotels for a couple of days, you know what I mean? Food for the week, or, you know, just keep that in mind. Let's say the routes, get paid by the routes, and the routes equals mileage, all the weight, things like that. The vacation time, if you pretty much decide to take a vacation, you know, these people are pretty much depending on you, whether you know it or not, to deliver these products to the patients. So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, for the guys who have those stuck with the smaller 50-mile routes a day, only making, you know, $100 a day, or, you know, whatever, 200, you know, just understand, like, if they send you a route and you decline or you reject a few loads, or like, I'm not gonna go here, I don't want to go this far, or that patient, he was mean to me the last time, and it has happened. I never rejected a route, but I had this. It was this time, this lady. I run the doorbell, knocked on the door. I was like, I'm a driver with such and such. I'm here to make medical delivery for such and such. And she was like, she started yelling. She said, you were supposed to call. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I called, like, and I showed her the call log, and like, our whole demeanor had changed. But just me being who I am, like that, it had pissed me off so bad. But I'm in my head, I'm like, bro, like, you gotta understand, at the end of the day, you are a businessman. Like, if you say something to her and these people lose this contract, hey, that's you, bro. Like, that's your fault. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of what the patient, or matter of fact, she wasn't even the patient. That was the crazy part about it. And like, just yelling at the top of her lungs, like, you were supposed to call. Like, just dealing with that. You have to be mentally ready for this type of thing. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Taxes, I already covered that. The vehicle maintenance, save for that, most definitely. Even though over the road, you want to always save for vehicle maintenance. I'm not going to tell you how much you should put aside, but you do have a business bank account for a reason. You do have to pay yourself. I would recommend that you pay yourself in a, of course, a separate personal account. You know what I mean? The money that the business makes, you are the business. So let that go in the business bank account. Pay yourself accordingly to what you think you should be paid. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with y'all. See, me, I think the most I ever made, like, within 40 hours was about like $640. So now every week, the only thing I pay myself is $700. So I only make $2,800 a month. Like, real shit. All the other money is in the business bank accounts. I got more than one, but there's 2 business bank accounts I got. I have one for separate reason, and I got another one for the medical thing. So, just understand that. And as time goes on, of course, I'll pay myself more and more, but that, you just got to keep yourself humble. You see all these dollars, yeah, that's cool, but hey, you got to understand, if something go wrong, like, that pot needs to be there. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. And leaving your vehicle unlocked while supplies are inside, that is a huge no-no. When you take your HIPAA certification, they'll give you examples of why the exposure and the I forgot what else it's called, but you'll learn about those things as it goes on. And so understand the importance of the contract. Like I just mentioned about how the lady yelling at me for not calling. Well, she thought I didn't call until I showed her the call log, and I was like, yeah, this 205, this Birmingham, Alabama number, yeah, that's me. I called you. It may not be a Texas number, but hey, we called. So she can't say that no one called. She was like, I'm sorry, my ringer was off or whatever. She came up with a good excuse, but I really wasn't mad. It was just the thing that I understood the importance of this contract. Why take a temporary feeling that I'm having, her yelling at me caused me to be a little bit angry. Why would I take it out on her right then, and not think for the long term? Think long term. If they lose this contract, there's no telling what other patient is in this area that's on the same contract with her, or in this area, this specific region. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. The DMV checks, yeah, MVR, pretty much. I'm sure they are randomly drug tested yet. I only been with this company for so long, so I haven't got randomly drug tests, or they haven't ran a MVR check on me. I'm pretty sure they have with the way my driving record is. I'm pretty sure they ran a random one already, but I didn't know about it. So, and another thing, the $500 a day hike that he said about YouTubers get on here and talk about. There's been days I've made $1,400 plus dollars. And I think I've done that 2 or 3 times now. And just because, like I said, we get paid by the mileage. So understand, you're a contractor. Your job is to get the shit done. You're not getting paid by the hour. You're getting paid to do a job that needs to be done. So however long that job takes, however type of efficient work skills you have to hurry up and get it done, that is on you. So, and I in a couple videos ago, I showed me a check stub or whatever. No, I didn't show the check stub. I showed the the settlement payment. I didn't show the breakdown or nothing because they had the paycheck names and things like that. So I didn't want to put that in there. So if you want to be mediocre, if you want to, just sit back and, I'm just go home. I want to be home every night. If you're that type of guy, of course you're not going to see more than $500 a day. But me on the other hand, I'm 21 years old. I'm going to get this money while it's out here, and I'm going to continue expanding my business and everything that I have going on right now. I'll continue to expand it. I'm not the type of guy that likes to sit at home, have a home cooked meal every night. Yeah, that's cool. Of course I want it, but it's a want. It's not necessarily a need right now for me. I don't have any kids, and of course everybody's situation is different, and I understand that. So, just keep that in mind. And random routes. Understand that, like, one day I could be here in Texas, one day I could be in Alabama, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, wherever they decide to send me for that week. Understand that. That's why I don't want to sound arrogant when I say it, but that's why I would say I make the big bucks in a short period of time, in a 5-day time. Like, making 3 to 4K every week, and you starting your day off, you starting your week off early Monday and coming back home Friday night. Like, that is fucking insane. Like, I never thought I'd be making this much money, like, ever. But like I said, even though I'm making it, it all going into the business bank account. You understand what I'm saying? I'm seeing it, but it's not necessarily going to me, it's towards the business. So understand that. Keep that in mind, So let's see. He said something about smoking as well. And I feel like that goes along with the personal hygiene thing. You gotta keep your hair cut, your beard and everything trimmed. Breath don't need to be stunk. You need to make sure you take showers, things like that, because you are going to these people's houses. You will be sweating each and every day, lifting these boxes and rolling the dolly outside, having to leave the dolly outside and carry the products into the patient house because you're not allowed to bring the dollies inside the house and things like that. So the hygiene is very important, So and the last thing he said was, and I want to go back and read this one thoroughly, and I want to quote this one myself. I hope this helps anyone considering starting their own 1099 independent carrier driver business. None of this is to defer you or convince you to do this. Just some info I have learned that I wanted to share. If anyone thinks incorrect about anything, feel free to chime in. And that is exactly what I want you all to do in this comment section below. And I've really been appreciating the comments, the feedback, and the DMs about my videos that I've been posting recently. Although I know it's been 4 months since I've uploaded a video, that was my fault. That is my fault. And shout out to Breon, Breathepreneur. I forgot his name, but I forgot his social media tag. But shout out to him because he called me one day not too long ago, like, "Hey, bro, you need to get back on your shit, bro. You can't just build a fucking audience and just not post anymore. Like, that's not cool." So, and he's an older guy as well. I thought he was about my age or something, but nah, he's an older guy. So I really appreciate him for that. And see him Expediter, Breathepreneur. I cannot think of his name for no reason, but I just seen it the other day. But with all that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned. A link tree down below. Go follow me on all social medias. You got any specific questions that you want to ask me in private, hit me on IG and I'll try my best to get back to you. I'm busy throughout the day. I like to come back home and enjoy myself on the weekends, spend time with friends, girl, whatever. I'm a regular person, so just understand that as well. You want to do a one-on-one, write down all your questions. I do charge $50 for my one-on-ones, so understand that as well. That's my price. You might find someone who can do it for cheaper, but that's just me. But like I said, it's the link tree down below. If you got any questions, leave your comments, anything I said wrong out the way, leave those comments down below. Let's talk about it. But